Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe and let's get into it, guys. And we are flying a little bit with an old friend of ours, the F-16A over here in the Block 15 model, ADF of course. And we're going to talk a little bit about the matches, guys. A lot of people are talking about it on the forums and Discords and everything. It's been kind of a subject for a while, to be honest, but anyway, I had to make a video about it at one point, right? Well, matches. The normal RB match. For a lot of people, it's quite boring, or it has some problems that need fixing, right? And bye-bye Sparrow, what are you doing? I mean, sure, why not? But it's not really only that, is it? I think, yes, we need more engaging game modes, especially for air battles, with different objectives and stuff to do, not only dogfighting in the middle of the map for like 4 minutes and then the match is over, which is 80% of the matches end like that. But also the size of the matches, or the size of the maps, together with the amount of players. A lot of people are bringing it up that the maps that are not like the big versions of the maps, like Spain, for example, that we are in right here, they're not big enough, so we need the large maps to be a constant kind of thing for every single match. People claim that. People claim that we need less players, which was something weird that Gaijin actually did. I don't know if you remember, I think it was like exactly like around 1 year ago that they did this. They introduced the new maps, the bigger maps and everything like that, and then shortly afterwards, or together even, they added a larger matchmaking for the matches. So you got more people into the battle, and then you increased the map, or on the contrary, right? I mean, they increased the map because people asked for it, but then they increased the number of players, meaning that the gameplay itself kind of remained the same, because there's always so many people flying around, right? So a lot of people claim that we need something different, something like, for example, having I don't know, a smaller match with like 6 people, even claim 8 players, like an 8v8, I mean, right? A 6v6, 10v10, something like that. And right now it can get up to what, 15, I think, or something like that. So it's kind of way bigger than ever was, you know. And yeah, so let's talk a little bit about it. What is the best option in my opinion? So first things first, I think there is another option beyond these two that might help, which is creating a match or a map that has 2 respawns. We already have that in certain BRs and stuff, so introduce that to top tiers and to have it every like rank 7 or 8 tiers, you know, ranks. But the problem with that is that it's probably going to create a asymmetric battle, which means that from the get-go a certain team will be worse than the other. Why? Because people will divide themselves to actually fight in the map itself, spawning in 2 directions, and with that they will end up getting killed before or after, and it will make it so that from the get-go, if you are respawning, trying to balance things out, you can get killed very quickly because you are alone against, I don't know, 5 guys, or 5 guys from your team are fighting just 1 because they kind of went for the same direction overall. So it can kind of create an imbalance on that. But to be honest, it is an imbalance that already happens in tank battles, so it might be worth to actually test it out first after some time in the matchmaking, to see what it would be like, to actually see if it actually made a difference or not. The other things, it's what we already talked about it, right? Having these larger maps in a way that people are spread out a little bit more depending on the situation. They can do that, increasing the amount of ground targets and spreading them out a little bit, making sure that you get a very high bonus of money or RP or something like that if you actually destroy or kill a certain AI thing, or maybe just try to do some form of more, a little bit different of a game mode from what we have. Because I don't know if you noticed that even though, yes, at the end of the day, people are doing fighting, aircraft fighting and stuff, we kind of are lined up to actually go to the middle of the match and just, do dogfights until the match is over. Because the map kind of just, it's designed around a central area that has a lot of ground targets. That's normally what happens, right? And you can see clearly that the maps are a little bit more, I'm not gonna say engaging, but different when we have the EC maps, for example, because then there is an A10, for example, that wants to do ground striking in a certain convoy, or another one, an F-111 can actually destroy bases, etc., right? So it kind of spreads it out, because at least that part of the match that is trying to do ground is a little bit more spread out, pushing the fighters to spread out a little bit more as well. So if they basically spread it out a little bit more of the match itself for ground battles and objectives that they want to add, together with maybe focusing more on larger maps, having a majority of larger maps, which is, I think it's already a thing, right? Being the majority of larger maps in the matchmaking. But I think maybe certain maps need to be changed, like Spain, for example, is one that for me was perfect before. I don't know if you remember, Spain was one of the first like bigger maps that they actually added a while back, and for some reason they just completely remove it from the from time to time, and add again and everything like that. And people just don't like the map, and then they change it up and stuff. So it's a big problem, but I think that would be the main thing. Of course, we can always like get smaller teams. That would help a lot, I think, on the balancing kind of things, because I don't know if you notice, guys, but there is kind of an interesting problem that we see in War Thunder right now. The matches hardly, or not hardly, but I would say like a 60-70% of the matches, they are over in a very, very unbalanced situation. So people get killed, and then you have a very, very high imbalance of players from one side to the other, right? So that would basically fix that a little bit, right? They would, have less aircraft to kill if they need to do a carry game, basically, right? If you need to carry the game or anything like that, it would be easier because you have less enemies to kill. Instead of the 15, like the 5 get killed and then you have to fight 10 targets, 7 targets, you would need to fight 3-4 targets, so it's a lot more doable, right? So these 3 changes would actually be a lot better. I think they need to test them 3 them all, and see what is best, maybe introduce them all, at one patch or something like that. But for sure we need something to be changed in these air RB matches, because it is getting kind of weird how it is right now. It's fun, but at the same time it can get kind of old very quickly. But anyway, let me know in the comments, what do you think about the game modes of ARB right now, and what would be the solution for it? Less players, bigger maps, something different with the objectives? Let me know in the comments, and I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, and bye.